What's the buzz? This is Zeta Beetle, and welcome back to Galactic Swarm Squad. In this episode, I'm going to show off some challenges that I haven't before. That's right, this is a bit of a lost episode of the series. So, I believe it's about time to show off the things that I haven't shown off before, and we'll see how everyone likes it. And I've got more to show off than just this, so let's get to it! Continuing off from the challenges that include blowing up a gas pump, distance traveled gliding, and harvesting metal and dealing melee damage, I go back to complete the challenge to deal melee damage. So I'm not entirely sure how I managed to do it, except for by my trusty trident. So, yeah. This trident is based off of one of the weapons that I use regularly in both Legacy and Bedrock Minecraft. As since the update Aquatic, which happened during Season X of all seasons, I have had access to the legendary weapon. So, I think you guys can see just how long I have had this for. And as such, you may be wondering why in Chapter 2 Season 2, I was basically dual-wielding diamond swords instead of just using the trident to begin with. Well, let's just say that the time that it took to get those tridents wasn't exactly a brief amount of time. So, essentially, what I'm saying here is, I started in Legacy Minecraft, during 2015, during the update when, it was just getting onto the Wii U. And, guess what Eager McBeaver had the Wii U at that time? Me. So, I was absolutely chomping at the bits to get to that version of Minecraft. And I pretty well got it that December. So, it all worked out. I was happy as a lark. And ever since then, I have been maining Minecraft for years. That's part of why I have so much gusto when I do my Minecraft videos, because it's a game that is so full of fond memories that I just love it to bits. And honestly speaking, it's one of the series that's actually gaining me the most subscribers. As of setting the stage, the Sky-based ship house, I have gotten 61 subscribers, and the video at the last time I looked had 69 views. And while that's nothing compared to what one of Jester's, or what a few of Jester's Fortnite videos got, it's still something, because mostly our videos don't get a lot of views. So to be able to claim a video that has a pretty good amount of views, yeah, that's something. So, and I don't know exactly when I finish off the challenge to deal melee damage, but it ends up being that kind of situation. So I believe this is where I actually attempt to do the challenge. Yeah, I'm zigzagging and I have the pickaxe out. So I'm just swinging at this guy and trying to avoid as many shotgun blasts as I can. And I've pretty much completed it at this point specifically. But I go the whole way and actually take down the person with the pickaxe. This is one of those very few times that I actually manage this, and it's for this reason specifically that I am humiliated anytime somebody finishes me off with a pickaxe. You'd better get very used to seeing this challenge because you're going to be seeing it a lot. This is the challenge to harvest metal, and it is a big boy. Sure, I could have made it much smaller by simply mining as much metal as I can each round in order to finish it off, but still yet, it ends up being a pretty big challenge, and you've probably already seen it completed, in which case you're probably confused about seeing it again right now. Truth of the matter is, this footage was missing from the list of challenges in the episodes I've put onto YouTube thus far. And so, I, with a kind of a about face, well, yeah, I guess you could say an about face. I go back and comb through these and go through them again in order to show them off this time around. So this round, this clip, I believe is a continuation of the clip where I got both the challenge to deal damage while in water and to get melee damage. In my notes, I did not write down that I had gotten deal damage while in water. But now that I know that I have done exactly that, in exactly the same scene as the melee damage, it actually makes a lot more sense looking back on it right now than it did the first time around. So that's where I'm coming from on that, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going through the desert here, and it just basically, I believe going into the Eye of the Storm, since that's most of my mindset right there. Just stay within the Eye of the Storm, attack anyone that attacks me, and run if necessary or possible. Usually, I only start running when I know that I cannot take a threat, by which point it's already too late. I'm just easy pickings for whoever chases me down. And typically, I just stay and fight for that reason, but there are some exceptions to every rule. Sometimes I just go ahead and run away anyway, because, well, I feel like I don't really have a chance just staying there. And sometimes I escape. If I have a vehicle nearby, I could manage it. But as long as I'm doing so on foot, there really isn't much of a chance for me to get away from any opponent that chases me down. So yeah, that's how my brain is wired sometimes. You may think that every single combatant or competitor within the score war pretty much does the same thing. Really and truly, there are certain, shall we say, specialties that we all took on upon ourselves. And due to that, it's pretty easy to see, why I currently have as high a score as I do, because unlike some of these guys, I am a jack of all trades, so I tend to do better in many things that a more specialized competitor wouldn't do so well in. Like, Mirage is a specialist of bounty hunting, and I'm not entirely sure what VACCI specializes in. Like, that's the thing. And the only reason I know about VACCI is by word of mouth from Marty Jester. So, yeah. As for Mirage, well, let's just say we have a history. Mirage, he is a very, very... I don't even know how to put it. It's just... He's a terrifying Mandalorian, basically. And having those purple swords of his doesn't really help with dumbing down his intimidation factor. Although at that point, I'm pretty sure he was wishing that they were more lightsaber-like than they currently were, because they looked more like solid blades than they did lightsabers. So that sort of helped his that sort of helped calm people down about it, but that is kind of a dangerous move to let down your guard near Mirage, because, like I said before, he is a pretty fierce bounty hunter, and anything to do with bounty hunting and being an expert at it, you tend to expect something nasty from somebody like that. Speaking of which, I just got taken down by none other than... Well, I thought it was going to be a Mandalorian. Turns out it happens to be a Condor. That is still a bounty hunter in his own right, so... yeah, that makes a case in point. Ugh. I cannot stress enough how irritating it is when the PlayStation 4 skips forward. That was why I had to do a new intro for the setting the stage episode, and I had to repeat this. So yeah. I'm counting that regardless of whether or not the challenge actually popped up, because I still technically showed the challenge off, even if the challenge window didn't pop up. And even though I'm not going to show you the end of the round where it confirms that I emoted at a stone statue, I'm still counting it. Because, Or maybe I did show off the end of that round. This may actually be that clip that shows that off. Regardless, this clip, this part of the round, is harvesting metal. So, essentially, whenever you, oh, never mind. I got the harvesting metal off of that gate. Yeah. That is when your lack of memory serves the wrong way, and you end up making yourself look like a fool. Because what I was going to say was, usually the challenge is accomplished by picking the metal up off the ground or from a chest, whichever one comes first at that exact moment. But for this round specifically, I decided to shake things up a bit, apparently, and break open a gate. So, this came before mantling was even thought of, so I had to break these and make ramps in order to get up or down from any place. Let me tell you something. Nowadays, Jester has a pretty big luxury. Like, he's able to just climb up a enemy's structure, and sometimes even manage to do so in such a way as to get right up in their face and start blasting them with a shotgun or an SMG. I didn't have those luxuries back in Chapter 2 Season 5 or Chapter 2 Season 7. I had to basically build a box sometimes and just pray to whatever deities Fortnite has, probably just the 0 point, if I'm perfectly honest, in order to even survive the encounter. So, here I'm going to be building a ramp like this, and I'm going to be keeping a pretty vigilant watch around around the Colossal Colosseum to see if anyone's here. But at this point, yeah, there wasn't. So I'm basically going on to, I think that was marking the Butter Barn? I'm not entirely sure. Nope, that's not the Butter Barn. As a matter of fact, it's not even in the desert area where Butter Barn is. So, yeah. That's fantastic. So, essentially, I'm just swimming across this river and moving along to the mark inside the eye, wherever it may be. Currently, I'm looking through a small window from a bed in my bedroom. And my memory is that of a goldfish, so that's basically, yeah. A small window plus goldfish memory equals fumbling on my words and essentially making a moron out of myself. So, somebody, the IO guards popped up in that elevator right there, and I jump and run, because to not do so would be to basically open yourself up to the IO guard's wrath. And let me tell you something, building don't help as much as you'd think against these IO guards, because you would have to spam and spam and spam and spam those walls until they ran out of bullets, and you were able to escape. But if you ran out of materials before they could have a chance to reload their weapons, bad news, you're down for the count. So, yeah. Good luck with that. Here, I'm basically just watching them from on the balcony, as they don't seem to be able to peek through a railing. But, I grabbed the gas can for whatever reason. Oh! Now I know what I'm doing. Okay. Ah. The thing is, did it work? Oh dear. So, yeah. Just a little bit of, something to, take note of. I edited these on the 9th of, this month. So, yeah. And, with that editing came some light research. Just enough to know what the primary challenge that this is notable for is. But aside from that, everything else that happens within the round is really hazy as a result. So I take this guy out with a tactical shotgun, and another one comes in through the back, and I take out the remaining IO guard right then and there. Or so I think, maybe. That may actually be a person. Yup, that is. Tromali... I don't even know. Anyway, the point of the matter is, I took down the IO guards. I did not take this guy out, and this is the end. And now back to a round where I actually get something done, as this is the challenge to ride the Steamy stacks. This was a very weirdly named challenge, because all you really had to do was ride the updraft within the stacks in order to complete this challenge. And now we're back to where we get absolutely nothing done except for progress on a very, very long-winded mission. Harvesting metal. Yep, that's basically the whole gist of this. Get comfortable for the next 5.5 minutes, because that's exactly how long this is going to be. So, I'm not sure exactly what I'm actually going for in these rounds, because what I actually get done is the harvesting metal missions. And clearly, I am not actually going after the harvesting metal mission, because if I were, I would do exactly as I said during the first clip that had such a mission, and as such, it would have went far quicker. So, essentially, if you have forgotten already exactly what I said that I was going to do, or what I should have done in order to speed things along, is to find a metal structure and go to town on it. And if the structure was particularly tall and not just one big thing, like a statue of a dinosaur, for instance, I would probably need to start at the top and work my way down in order to efficiently gather the metal needed. Oh, well, look at that. I'm actually doing exactly what I was saying about the first time I... wow. Talk about squeaky wheel gets the grease. I just had to talk about that, and I was doing it right then. Yeah, honestly speaking, like I said before, my memory is bad, and I actually edited these probably, I would say, a good 8 days ago at this point. Yeah. If I had edited them on the 10th, it would have been a solid week, because this is the 17th. But since I edited them on the 9th, one day before recording, well, I think you can see where I'm going from here, right? Now I actually have a good long-range weapon to complement my short-range weapon. And, as if that wasn't good enough, they're both lever action. So, the lever action rifle is basically a very low-powered sniper. But where that is concerned, it can be accurate if you have the aim to really do something with. And it's not like it's the weakest thing in Fortnite, because in about 4 hits, you can take somebody down with a lever action rifle. Because 2 hits would break the shield, and a further 2 would take somebody down if they didn't heal. But of course, it's a good strategy to heal, so most likely your opponent is going to disengage and try to heal. And that's where you need to go to town on their builds in order to keep that from happening. If you are skilled enough, you can use an insta-break weapon like a heavy sniper rifle, or, according to Jester, a heisted breacher shotgun. You can then, if you switch quick enough, shoot a rocket while they are trying to rebuild their structure, and if you time it just right, you can do a lot of damage. And if they don't have a shield, or if their shield is cracked at that point, you could even take them out in one fell swoop. Or if the rocket launcher is even more powerful, even if they have like 13 shield, you could one-hit them that way. So there we go. And that seems to be about as much time as we have for this episode. Join us in the next one when we harvest metal, upgrade weapons, deal damage to a loot shark, drive a car through the cornfield at Steel Farm, drive a truck to the orchard, and blow up fishing holes at Lazy Lake Island. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you all next time. Until then, adios amigos.